we're getting baking again. I have 3 different fudge recipes that I make. I bake fudge every single year. I bake it at Thanksgiving time, I bake it at Christmas time, and through the years I've mainly made a standard classic chocolate fudge. But I've also kind of changed it up through the last few years. So I have a recipe that I think you'll love. It's called Buckeye Fudge. And it has 2 layers in it. It has a layer of peanut butter and it has a layer of chocolate. And it's like a very delicious fudge. So this year at Thanksgiving, I'm going to do the Buckeye Fudge. I will make a different one for Christmas. So this is another addicting recipe, another addicting dessert. So I hope you'll enjoy this. So the first thing we're going to do is grease a 9 by 9 inch pan. And then we're going to start melting a cup of peanut butter and a cup of butter in a saucepan. And you're going to kind of mix it together also with a teaspoon of vanilla. So these 3 items you're going to do is melt them in a saucepan. That's your first step. And of course you're going to have it on low because you don't want the butter or anything to burn. So that's what we're going to do. On low, we're going to melt everything together. And as soon as this is completely melted, we're going to add powdered sugar, cup by cup. Here's your 9 by 9 greased pan that you have all set and ready to go. Okay, here's our melted peanut butter, and vanilla. This is how you want it. So now we're ready for the next step. Okay, so you take this peanut butter off the stove, and now you're going to add 3.5 cups of powdered sugar gradually, like a cup at a time, and you're going to mix everything together. It will have some little lumps in it. You can't stop that. That's kind of normal. But this is kind of what you do. And you just kind of mix it in together until it thickens. And once it gets all incorporated, you're going to press it down in your 9 by 9 baking pan. So that's what we're doing. We're just going to add all of it in. And as you add more and stir it, it thickens up how you want it to. So what you can do to kind of get rid of some of the lumps is you just kind of press down on them like this. You just kind of press down with your wooden spoon and it kind of mashes them in. It's okay, you're going to have a little bit, but if you want to get rid of some of the lumps, that's what you do. You just kind of press down on it. We have all of our powdered sugar in it, and we're just stirring it, and you can see it's thickening up. Okay, so now we have our peanut butter all thick and mixed and combined together. We're going to put it in our pan now. So this is how it'll look, and you're just going to get it all out of your pan and mash it down. And this is one of those desserts that you're going to have to keep it away from yourself until the holidays. It's just a few days away, but you don't want to be near it because you might be tempted to eat some of it. But with all the different dishes and desserts that I'm going to be making, I can't do everything the day before. So this is just a few days before, and it will keep really well. You just keep it in a plastic container, and it'll keep really, really well. To smooth it out more, you can get a larger spoon and kind of just do like I'm doing. It actually smooths all the rough spots out and just makes it easier to deal with here. So this is an idea where you go around the edges and just smooth everything out. Okay, the second half of this is you're going to get a double boiler and you're going to put 2/3 of water in it, and this is the part you're going to add the chocolate, butter, and condensed milk. If you don't have a double boiler, you'll just get a pot and like a bowl, like a glass bowl, and put it over the bottom pot. You just boil water, and then you're going to be melting the chocolate, condensed milk, and butter over it till it's creamy. And I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so here's 2 tablespoons of butter and a 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chips. You just pour it in. And you're going to melt all that. We're going to put the condensed milk in there now. Okay, here's everything in here. You've got the condensed milk in here now. You have the chocolate chips. Everything's in here. So what we're going to do is it's boiling underneath. The water's boiling and now it's going to melt everything down. So here it is melting. You have 2 tablespoons of butter, a cup and a half of chocolate chips, and 7 ounces of condensed milk, which is a half a can of condensed milk. The condensed milk comes in 14-ounce cans, so all of that is melting in here right now. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's all melted down, just like this. So now we're ready to take it off the stove and top it on the peanut butter. Okay, here we go. Here's our chocolate that we just melted on the stove. And now we're going to just layer this on top of the peanut butter. And the best way to do that is like with a spatula like this. You could use a little knife, you could use a smaller spoon, you know, whatever is easier for you, but I use a spatula for something like this because to me it's just much easier. See how smooth that chocolate is? So you want to do this right away as soon as you take it off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cool these for about 3 or 4 hours. Okay, here they are. We're going to let them set for about 4 hours at room temp, or you could refrigerate them for an hour or 2. I'm just going to let them set out. We're in colder weather now, so I'm going to do that and I'll show you when they're finished. Okay, this took about 1 hour to set. If we were in summertime and the weather was hot out, it would take a lot longer, and so you would have to refrigerate it. So we're ready to cut these in squares. It's just how it's supposed to be. It's nice and set, so it's real thick. So I'm just cutting them in kind of like uniform squares, all about the same. So we'll go ahead and cut these. We'll cut them all up and then we'll give it a try. Okay, here's our finished Buckeye fudge. Looks absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Okay, I recommend that you store them, your Buckeye fudge, in like a Tupperware container, something like this, and you keep the lid on it, and you just keep it in a cool spot where it can be ready for the holidays if you make it ahead of time. So this is a really good storage container for it. And here it is. We're not going to keep all this out. I'm just kind of displaying it on a plate, but we are going to put all of this in our Tupperware container for Thanksgiving so it stays fresh. So now I'm going to give one of these a try. Absolutely delicious. Very rich and very good. If you like peanut butter and you like chocolate and you like the combination, that's what these are. They're very delicious. They're very sweet and rich, and so one goes a long way. So you really don't need to eat a lot of these because they're super rich and they're really, really good. I think you'll really enjoy this fudge recipe. I hope you try this. Thank you.